I just had the coolest story, and I heard this yesterday, and I didn't bring it to you because I didn't believe it. I had to confirm it. So Paddy the Batty just got beat. Paddy the Batty, as a matter of fact, got submitted. Do you guys even know what I'm talking about? So there's something that goes on in England. This is Paddy's gym. Paddy enters this thing every year. It's called something, and then they have a King of the Mat. It's a grappling tournament, but they have this thing, this King of the Mat. Paddy was in the finals a year ago, and after an hour, they just stopped the match and called it a draw. So he was a co-champion. So whatever this thing is, it's a thing that matters to him. So he enters it, I guess, over the weekend. I guess. And he ends up getting beat. Now, one of the reasons it's so cool is I don't think you have heard about it. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is there's no other sport where this would happen. One of the reasons I think it's so cool is it doesn't matter. And that's one cool thing about our community. Like if a guy like Paddy wants to go out there and take a risk and do something like this, he can chalk that up to a tremendous victory. He can also chalk that up to a workout. And you know what? We need to keep it that way. It's one thing that we have done very well as a group, and there's no other sport that's like that. You will never hear of a time that LeBron drops in for a one-on-one with the college star. He just couldn't take the risk. He just simply could not take the risk. This happened when I was a kid. It was to John McEnroe in Oregon. This was before the internet was a thing, but John McEnroe came out and he played somebody. We had some high school star down in it was down in Eastern Oregon. I want to say maybe Pendleton. At any rate, the guy beat him. Our high school star beat McEnroe, and this was a thing. This was a thing. But it's one of these reasons why you can't ever get that. Like you are left to believe that the NBA is better than the NCAA. You're led to believe the NFL is better than college football. I'm sure you're right, but there's exceptions, and there's certain positions at certain times where there are exceptions. You will never know. Those guys will never take the risk. They will never take to the field. They will never take to a three-point stance and go, they'll just never do it. On the outside chance that somebody's filming and somebody puts it, it's one of those things. And you get guys that love to compete. I mean, I got one resentment towards our sport. One, which is that we only do it 3 times a year. I mean, I can't even tell you the lack of respect that I have for a guy that misses a martial arts fight. For any reason, this is a personal statement, but I couldn't possibly care. If that's what you do for a living and you're asked to go to work 3 times a year, I could not possibly care how you feel on one of those 3 days when the whole rest of the world is when all the fans in the audience are working and saving up money to come watch. Like, I couldn't possibly care. If your arm is broken, I couldn't possibly care. You're asked to go to work 3 times a year. If you don't show up one of those, I already don't respect you. I don't respect fellow fighters because they only work 3 times a year. I don't respect anybody that works 3 times a year. I don't care what your job is. You're not going to have my respect, not as a man. I'm just sharing that with you. Then if you miss one of those, right? I'm just telling you. So I really like these guys that go and find competitions. And the fact that Paddy is even out there for somebody to calf slice him, this happened to me. I was at Team Quest. This is before people had cameras. This must have been around the year 2004, 2000. That's probably a good guess. 2004, 2005 maybe. So it was a different time, right? The internet wasn't out yet. The Facebook wasn't out, and Twitter and all these different things. So it's very interesting because we have a grappling event at Team Quest, and we bring in, I think there was 4 teams in total, but there's no fans. I was part of Team Quest's team, and when I showed up that day, I didn't know what we were doing. I didn't understand that these other teams were coming and we're going to go out and then there's going to be some kind of a rule set and a scoring system. So anyway, we show up for practice that day, and Randy Couture, who was the reigning world heavyweight champion, ends up losing a match that day. And I'm just sharing, like, it was an interesting thing. Tim Sylvia was there, Dennis Hallman and Benji Raddick. I mean, I could really name drop. I believe Matt Hume brought a team. Robert Follis was the referee. Like, there was really some things that I could share with you, but it didn't matter. You chalked it up. It was a workout. It was competition. It counts. It was real. But it didn't carry over to your MMA career. Now, I want to tell you something. This is a quote from Paddy the Batty. He said, "I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I can be arsed tonight. I've got to beat Justin Gaethje up in 5 weeks. I've sparred 5 rounds today, did pads before it, and then 10 threes on boxing pads." So what Paddy's talking about is he did a full workout, right? He's on the backside of his camp for his fight. It's in 2 weeks. He will travel in 1. He's on the backside of it, so he does his full training session in the middle, and we all know Paddy's weight cutting issues. And he still goes into the finals of this event where he's ultimately put in the calf slicer. And I just share that for you. Am I making an excuse for Paddy? No. No, I don't. I don't care that he's on the backside. I don't know what the other guy's going through. You shake hands, it counts. That's it. Anytime you want to play around, go play around. If you're keeping score and there's a timer, it counts. And it counts for life. I just don't care. I like a guy that will go out there and take risks. And we will still hear this on a common basis in combat, which is you will hear a narrative from announcers, from media, from fans about one fighter won't do something else. But the criteria for, oh, he'll never take that fight is he can't beat that guy. And that is not something that the athlete can relate to. That's something that the announcer, the commentator, and the fan personalizes and assumes that the athlete relates to. The real competitor that wants to compete doesn't make a criteria of his participation that I have to win. That's what a bully does. Only a bully enters events that they know they're going to win. There's another walk of life out there that if they're part of a field, they will compete with anybody else in the field, and they understand the risk, which is defeat, which can come with a loss of prestige, it can come with a loss of ranking, it can come with a loss of money, but it's still the game that you agreed to play. And you play that game against anybody else that shows up on any given day. And I love that Paddy did this.